Well, hello, hello, hello.
How you doing? As we're headed
Welcome.
towards the end of the year, it's a kind of exciting time of the year.
Is it? Yeah,
I don't know. Walk outside the front door, and people see me. They're really excited or really mad.
yeah. Well, you dug that grave for yourself, my
Yeah,
friend.
that's it.
Yeah, no, it is. We put our Christmas tree up last night, and it's like I have one of these fake ones, and
Yeah,
my oldest like hates me for it, and my youngest doesn't care as long as we have a tree. But I'm always dreading it. It's like pulling that thing out, and then you have to like reshape it and everything. But then once it's up, it's like, yeah,
yeah,
and
right.
so yeah, I was this close, I kid you not, to going and just buying a different one because I didn't wanna get it out of the storage
Out of the
unit.
box.
Yeah, I have had, for anybody who doesn't know, I've had trouble with my left hand from radiation. I had a really bad reaction to the radiation on my left side, and I lost use of my left hand for a number of days, and, I just I couldn't do shit. I couldn't do
That's
shit. I
ridiculous.
couldn't cook. I couldn't carry anything. It just was, yeah, it is a weird thing that happened, but
You
I'm
can't
back
even
now.
you can't even button your shirt like if you
Oh,
don't have your left hand.
you should see me trying to button up my pants. I was like, "Oh," I and I was wearing my cowboy boots every day because they're slide on, slide
Oh
off. I
yeah.
don't have to tie anything. Yeah, it's been, yeah, it was a challenge. I mean, it's something I would eventually obviously get used to, but I didn't want to. And, anyways, it's fixed and we're on to better things.
There we go.
Um, we have 2 fabulous guests today. I mean, really fabulous. If there are people that go to heaven, okay, if you believe in that kind of shit, these 2 are going there. These 2. And, you know, before my cancer journey, I didn't know a lot of people that were going to heaven. I didn't know a lot of those people, but this journey has really taken me on a path where I've got to meet a lot of amazing people. And these 2 started a foundation called My Fairy Godfathers Foundation. And they're a nonprofit organization that believes empowering women through beauty. And you can go on their Instagram or on their website. We'll give you all the details and you can nominate people. But what they do is fabulous. They brought me to tears. So I so proudly want to introduce Stephen and Andrew from My Fairy Godfathers.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. Hi.
So happy to see your faces. Oh, look at us. We all are in the Black Frame Club.
We are. What about you, Dave? Where's yours? Come on.
I know. He needs them. He just doesn't
I
wear
do
them.
have
He's
them.
clean.
I have them. I just don't like the way I look with
There
the
you
hat
go.
on with glasses.
There you go.
Maybe for this episode, I'll keep them on the entire time.
Yes. Now we're a foursome.
Well, thanks for having us on, Nicole.
Oh, listen, thanks for being here and thanks for doing what you do and being who you are. Let's give everybody a rundown. I met them through We Spark, which is a cancer center nearby locally for me in Studio City. And it's a place I really turned to when I was feeling super lonely and lost. And I just wanted to be around people who were knowledgeable. And they invited me to an event. And I met these 2 beauties. So yeah, give us a little rundown.
Oh, wow. Stephen and I have been in the beauty business for years and years and years. And we decided the way that we know how to give back is to help women who have been at some sort of adversity in life. Could be medically, could be financially. But we want to let those women know that they are beautiful. And so everything that we do, all the programs that we do through the foundation have to do with helping women to feel beautiful. So, and sometimes when you feel beautiful on the outside, it really resonates to your inside. So that's more importantly for us is we want women to actually feel beautiful. And at this point, we've helped well over 5,000 women at this point in our journey. This is our journey now. And I love it. It's brings me happiness in my heart more than you could even imagine. So
I believe that. And you guys help a lot of young women too, which I think is important because as older women, we know that part, like if you take care of the outside, inside, but young women, they're impressionable, they're learning. It's really important.
Yeah,
You guys do like proms and such, right?
yes, we do. We send girls who are, in need to go to the prom that can't afford to go. We do the whole thing for them. We partner with one of the department stores here, and we do like supermarket sweep. We bring in like 20 girls at a time, and They go out there, they can pick their dresses, their shoes, their jewelry, their undergarments, everything they need to go out and have a great time that night. And it's all donated. It's all free for them.
That's so amazing.
Well, and Nicole, the very first prom girl 11 years ago, it was a kind of a fluke thing. We went in just to do hair and makeup for her. We heard about her. But when we met her probably a few weeks before the prom, we realized that she didn't have the means for anything. She couldn't even buy the tickets. So we decided to do it all for her. We gave her the whole night experience. We did limo and dress and shoes and everything. And we got her ready and she looked at us and she said, "You guys are like my fairy godfathers." So that started this journey 11 years ago. And here we are. So it's a wonderful, and especially the young girls, because so with social media and filters and everything, it's so hard to know that
what's real and what's not real.
So, I think beauty needs to be seen inside. And I agree with you, Nicole. They need to, it's something that they don't know when they're young. So
it's true. And I think it's one of the first things like we cut out as women, as people. We kind of cut out beauty stuff because we feel like it's extravagant or it's a big splurge and like maybe we don't deserve it. And like before you know it, you're slouching around. And not that there's anything wrong with going out in your pajamas, because I've been caught. And I'm guilty of it all the time. But it's a feeling, right? It's like a self-worth feeling.
Well, by the time you get to be, you're a mom and you're working and, you forget about yourself because you're so busy taking care of other people. Women are basically nurturers. And so, they're busy taking care of other people and they kind of go by the wayside. And, sometimes it takes a catastrophic event to make them realize that, okay, I need to pay attention to me now. And, or just, they wake up one day and the pajamas don't cut it anymore, so they just gotta, try to pull it together. And, that's what we're here for. We help those people. We try to explain to people that they're not defined by their circumstances, whatever those circumstances are.
It's true. It's true. And it's funny because there's so many like dupes nowadays too. So like I think about it when you talk about mothers, right? And I'm like, my daughter has all like I spend on her first. She wants this, she wants that. Exactly. And then I find myself buying the dupes for myself, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they work just as great. And it's about the effort, right?
Yeah.
It's about the effort, the time you put into yourself, even if it's just a few minutes, a few extra minutes. I think it's so important. And when people like you show, like I was there with you guys 20, 30 minutes, and the transformation from when I walked in there, and I'll post a pic, to when I left was like, and when I walked in the door, my daughter was like, "Where have you been?" Just like, "What have you been doing all day?" I was like, "Don't you wish you knew?"
Well, I think also we get to see that transformation all the time. And again, in that 20 minutes, I love to see a woman that all of a sudden they're looking at themselves totally different. I mean, they're looking at themselves and seeing beauty at this point, where they didn't 20 or 30 minutes prior to that. So I love that part of it.
Or there's that little bit of, hopelessness there that, okay, there are people who care. It's not as bad as it seems. And, we try to make light of whatever the situation is. Sometimes it's a good situation. When we give out scholarships, it's a great situation. Young girl comes in, somebody hands her money going towards a college education, building, confidence in that part of it, getting educated, then you can go on and you can help somebody else. And that's kind of what we try to do is, the pay it forward thing. We would love those girls that we help to help someone else down the road, even if it's just it's a hello, or can I help you? Can I get you something? Are you in need of something? That kind of thing. That's what we try to instill into the people that we work with.
I believe you do. I believe that. Where the event that we met at, Dave, was obviously I said at a cancer center. So there were women, all bald women there. And I spoke to a few while we were waiting. And like, also, it's when you lose your hair, some people really struggle with that, and it's like a real crisis identity. So you guys are stepping in and fixing that for them, which is huge for a lot of people, huge. But the other part of that is that you can't to think that you can just go online and buy one of these wigs and it's going to be fantastic. That's like, I'm sure it works for some people, but it was not my experience, and it was
No.
not the experience
And
of
not
some
for the
women.
majority. Right.
It doesn't work like that. And I bought, I don't know, probably 6 wigs, returned them all as soon as they came in. My daughters were like, "Are you joking? Take that off." It looked crazy.
Yeah.
And I know that that's a lot of people's experience. So the difference of you guys knowing what you're doing, being able to style it for somebody's face or cut it, the whole thing that you did that day was so transformative for the women in that waiting room. From before they went in there to I watched them come out. I mean, yeah, it's a
Well,
really
it's
big
just that, we want to do our best to make those people feel normal. As you said, for a woman to lose their hair, it's probably more, catastrophic than the disease itself.
Yeah, we hear that a lot.
So it's, a lot of women identify themselves by the way they look and by their hair. And so we try to bring some normalcy back, especially with women who are working, women that have young children. They want to look normal. And they also say, I don't want people to come up and say, "Oh, how are you?" or "Pity you," or "You sick?" or, that kind of thing. They just want to go on with their day, fight the good fight and get past it. And, like you, now you're past it and now you look like Sharon Stone. So, that's our mission, is to, help these women in whatever circumstances they are. We also work with, domestic violence and sexual abuse, and all of those women are the same. It's they're all in a crisis of some sort. So we try to show them that this isn't the end of the road for you. You've got a great future ahead of you. You have faith in yourself, and that little bit that we do to make them get to that point and feel great that day. Hopefully that continues on with them, and it helps them over that hump, and they can continue to improve their circumstances.
Yeah, the women that we help, especially the women going through cancer, we hear more often than none that they're more worried about losing their hair, than they are, because with going through cancer, they've got some sort of plan. The doctors have set a plan for them, so they know where they're going with this. When they lose their hair, they don't understand or know what to do. They're just kind of at a loss. And like Steven said, they don't want people to know they're sick. They just I had a friend, she went through cancer, and she had like 7 or 8 wigs. She had so many because we, gave her every color of the rainbow. But she just got tired of people saying, "How are you?" It was almost like a pity thing. And she just didn't want that. She wanted to just go with life. So
a lot of people also don't tell anybody that they're going through it. So there's
Right.
that factor too, right? So they do want to stay normal looking, and people there, you'd be surprised how many people don't even tell their family, right? It's wild to me. I had a totally different experience, but I will say, like, I wasn't afraid of losing my hair, and I was fine when I lost it. But when it started falling out, it definitely hits and lands differently than you expect it to. Even when I was prepared and ready for it, it still was a bit devastating. So I can't even imagine if I was dreading it falling out, and I was, that was like my big identity would be my hair. I can't imagine. So it's it's just really moving what you guys
Well, we
do.
heard a lot of different stories that day when we were in that room. I think we saw 30 some odd women that day, and we had, you heard fun stories, you heard some very sad stories, but most of them all left feeling much better about themselves. Obviously they were very happy with what we did, but for us, that's a small portion. And we had this conversation with somebody else. another cancer patient, and we said, well, we just do this little small thing. And she's like, well, it's really not a little small thing. You know, for a woman that's lost her hair, for you to put her back together again, you know, it's a big thing. It's not such a small little thing.
It's not a small thing. It's a big thing. And it's something that their life has changed and they're touched forever. Do you know what I mean? They'll never forget you for that. And
I hope their lives are better for it. I do. I really do. So,
and we do see a lot of the survivors. They do when their hair, you know, oh, I'm going to come to you and get my hair cut when my hair grows back. And we've done that where they've come back and we've transitioned them back into, you know, what they were before, you know, so it's nice to see that. You know, unfortunately, some of them don't survive, but the majority of people that we have dealt with have, you know, conquered it and have gone on to live, you know, great lives.
Well, and you know, one of our prom girls from 8 years ago now sits on our board for our foundation. So, you know, it's so cool to see how they've been touched that many years ago. Now they want to contribute to what we do to help as well. So I love that full circle. So
this is what life is about. This is what we need more of, honestly. It really is. So people can go and nominate people, correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
Yep.
So they go to your website, which is myfairygodfathers.net.
Correct. Yep. And there's a contact page on there. Just go there. It'll come directly to an email and we'll get back to you. So yeah. And, or people see how they can get involved. You know, they can contact us to see how to get involved. We give out hundreds and hundreds of beauty bags away. Beauty bags are everything a girl needs to get ready, from essentials to non-essentials, from tampons to toothpaste to mascara to blush and everything in between. So we always are taking donations for that. We have a big warehouse space and keep up everything in, and we're blessed to be able to do it. So
yes. Okay. So if you're able to give, think about this, because this is a fabulous foundation, really changing lives and changing future lives. You're not just touching that one person, you're touching many people, I believe, by doing what you do. So thank you so much. They also have a really fun Instagram. If you guys are on Instagram, go follow. It's a great Instagram. I love it. And there's a link tree on there where you can access everything you need to if you want to donate or nominate or whatever, or just support. It's all right there. My Fairy Godfathers.
Thank you so much. And you really look terrific. You
really
really
oh, you're kind.
you look great, Dave. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, and you too, Dave. Dave would be one of those you would have to save for, because if he lost his hair, you know, Dave is super vain.
True. I am. She's right. She's absolutely right.
Well, we have wigs for men too, so if it falls out, we can fix it for you. No problem.
God forbid. But yeah,
Right.
I'm not sure. My biggest fear is, and I'd say Nicole embraced it like a champ. I mean, it was amazing, but I'm always afraid of, I don't know what my head would look like. Like if I went through it, like, do I have a bad head? Like you see a lot of people, man, you got a really bad head underneath there. If I had a really good head, maybe I'd embrace it, but I'm kind of nervous. I don't know what I played a lot of sports, so probably a lot of scars. I have no idea what it looks like.
Well, I was nervous too, because I have a pretty severe calic in the back of my head. So I thought that the back of my head was going to be flat.
Yeah, me too.
That's
I have
what
the
I
same
thought.
thing. That is funny. That is funny.
Okay. We can fix
Thank
it
you
all.
guys. You guys are amazing.
Yes.
Thank you
You guys
so
are
much for
amazing.
having
Thank
us.
you. Thanks for joining us.
you're welcome.
Nice to see you again. Take care.
You too.
Bye.
That was nice. That was really good. That was a perfect guest for this month, especially, right? With the holidays. I always say we have our biggest hearts in December, and then unfortunately around December 28th we kind of turn back to what we normally are, but we start, as we ramp up towards the 25th, people are at their nicest and their hearts are a little bit bigger, and that's absolutely fantastic. And I bet on their end as well is there's nothing like giving, right? I mean, when you're younger and you're a little kid and you look forward to stuff even like Christmas, but as you get older and you realize how it feels to give, to help someone out or give them exactly what they want, for them to literally give someone exactly what they want is incredible. Good for those guys.
I mean, yeah, really. And you know, beauty is like one of these things where we so easily like brush it off because we feel like it's surface.
Yeah.
You know, like looks, but it's really not. It really can like touch you down deep. So yeah, fantastic.
No, absolutely. That was cool. That was a nice get right there. That was very, very special. Good deal. Good deal. You mentioned Christmas before they joined us, and you talked about the tree and everything else. How are you doing on the Christmas shopping and crossing things off your list?
I have learned that you need to hit that Black Friday and that
Yeah.
Cyber Monday. If you can get the kids' Christmas list and check everything off on those 2 days, you spend half the amount of money almost, and it's all on its way. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm in good shape. I'm in really good shape. And I used to be one of those people that was like running around at the last minute,
Yeah.
And it used to be super stressful. Now it's such a breeze. And listen, online shopping is so easy. I don't go into the malls. Like once we get into December,
Yeah.
I'm not going there. I'm not going to the stores. So, all these online shopping deals are just, it's everything.
It's funny you mentioned that. The worst part was always for me going to the mall was just the parking situation always sucked. Like
Parking and then
you're
the
already,
line, right?
yeah,
To get
right.
out.
But then there's something to be said about, and again, I'm not doing the mall thing. I haven't done the mall thing in years, but there's something also I think we send to going out with whoever you're shopping with, of spending that day with that person, grabbing something to eat, just the things smell a certain way. I don't know. I kind of miss some of that, but you're right on the shopping. Like all my stuff's already come to the door. Like the last thing I needed to buy was delivered in the middle of the night. I woke up this morning, it was there. There's outside the door. It has become extremely easy. But you are 100% right. For anyone who didn't listen to Nicole's advice, listen next year. If you do the Black Friday and the Cyber Monday, you will save so much money.
Yeah.
It is honestly worth it. Pay attention to what's going on.
Yes. Yeah. And some of you think, because I'm always one of these people that the stuff I want never goes on sale, because I always want and the same with my kids. But no. It's like high-end top brands, they go on sale. So it's definitely worth it.
Are you able to spend the holidays with both girls, or is one not going to be able to be with you?
No, I'm not. But it looks like hopefully for my birthday we'll all be together. So
that's cool. That's really close by. At least it's not long away. So, all right. My question for you as a kid: were your parents big Christmas people? Meaning that, hey, give us your list and we're filling that thing up, or what was it like?
My dad was generous, but not like he never knew what to get you. So he would he would always do much better than he thought he did. My mom was one of these people who yes, she would buy me what I wanted, but maybe in the color she thought I should have, or she would sometimes switch it up as to what she thought I should have. And then if you didn't like it, she'd be angry.
Oh no.
It was so Christmas in my house was this thing of pretend you love everything and then disappear if there's any cooking to be had, because there's going to be screaming. And it just was she was super generous, but it was it was over generous. And then a lot of it was what she thought she wanted, what she thought you should have, which is fine. It was really fine. It sounds like I'm being a brat, but
no,
you'd have to know my mom to understand.
Yeah.
You'd have to have been raised in that home to understand that if you didn't like it, you're better off pretending you like it,
How long did it take you to figure out that I better?
Oh, pretty quick.
I better do my best acting in this house right now.
Yeah, pretty quick. And my dad would always said to me, Nicole, one thing I love about you is that you always are grateful, and you always pretend you like it, even if you don't. And I was thinking, I wanted to say to him, yeah, well, I also did not want to get, my ass kicked.
Yeah.
For not liking something. And I do think that it's the thought that counts. It's just that my mom was a little bit manipulative. It was if you specifically said you didn't want that one, she might get you that one. It was a little bit like
Really?
that, if I can make it make any sense, because I think the way I'm saying it makes me sound ungrateful. It wasn't like that. It was like she would intentionally sometimes get you what you didn't want. Yeah, it's really hard to put into words. You had to live it.
Yeah, yeah, you had to live it. It's funny because as a kid, and I think even as an adult too, is in your mind, you know what you want, even if you're going to go shop and buy it with your own money. But if they don't have the exact brand of what you want, it's not the same color, but it's an off color of what you were thinking in your head. It is a little bit of a disappointment. You're 100% right on that. You aren't wrong.
Well, so like my daughter wanted this one specific lip gloss and she wanted a specific brand with this specific color. And my oldest wanted to get it for her. And it was all sold out. It's the hottest thing. It's all sold out. So I found some others, but me and my oldest were like, are those dupes? Like those possibly can't be, like they must be dupes. And then my daughter said, well, there's other colors from that brand. I said, I'll ask her. And she said, no, I'll just wait. I'd rather just wait. And luckily they restocked and she's going to get the color. But you're right. See, she would have, instead of getting a dupe
Yeah.
or instead of choosing another color from that brand, she would just prefer to wait. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I understand. It's funny is in the house I grew up in, we didn't. Okay, so both my parents were Jewish. We weren't super religious, but they were Jewish, but they weren't gonna have a Christmas tree. Okay. Like I have a lot of Jewish friends who have the Christmas tree, and the parents take them to see Santa Claus. And my parents would take me to see Santa Claus on the mall and all that. But it wasn't Christmas. So Christmas morning was always weird. Like it felt strange that I'm in my house knowing all my friends around the neighborhood are having the time of their life and I'm not part of the party. You know, like they're all going to tell me what they got. They're going to call me any minute, come over, play with this, or when they show up at school and Christmas break is over, everybody has these great Christmas stories. And I never had
Wait,
that.
wait. Did you do Hanukkah?
We did Hanukkah. My parents kind of sucked at it. Like you got socks, you got a football, maybe. You didn't get the electric car toy set. You didn't get the cars that raced on the track. You didn't get the cool stuff that boys might, or the video game consoles or anything your friends got. You didn't get it. And so that was it. But I wasn't going to complain either. I never asked my parents for anything. I was the guy that, even though my parents had the money, I got like one pair of shoes for 6 months. Then when I outgrew those, I got another pair of shoes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I
They were frugal.
no, not exactly. My dad drove a 911 Porsche. I just, as a kid, I just never asked. You know what I mean? I didn't say, hey, I really like that shirt. I kind of was just that quiet kid that just never asked for anything. I should have used my voice more, but I didn't. Anyway, that's on them and me. But what I'm saying is to this story is when I had kids and my wife, was Italian and Catholic, and I'm like, oh, we have Christmas. I got a tree, and I got the lights and everything else. I overdid it to the point my wife complained every year. What are you doing? You're spoiling the kids. And I said, I never had this. So I went so far over the top, thousands of dollars per kid on whatever you could possibly dream, stuff that you didn't even know you needed that I think you need. And I went over the top. I would find stuff in March that I hid away that I bought was supposed to be for Christmas. Oh shoot, I was supposed to give this to Josh, and that was it. So I tell my kid now, because I took it to one extreme. I said, hey, when you have kids, don't do what I did, because when you set the bar too high, you got to follow it up every year with the same thing, and it gets crazy expensive, right? You have 2 daughters that you realize things are expensive. And so that was kind of, I took it to such an extreme of everything that I ever wanted. And I don't regret a minute of it. My wife yelled at me every single year for doing it. But you ask them later on, like if I were to ask you, what was your favorite gift of all time? Does something immediately pop into mind?
I don't know about a favorite gift of all time, but for some reason, every time I think about Christmas, I think about Izod.
Yeah, of course.
So
It's
I
funny you
wanted
said that.
the shirt
Polo
and then
shirts
the
or
belt.
Ozide shirts. Yeah.
Yeah, like the pink Izod, the green Izod, and then the pink and green striped belt. For some reason, that sticks out for me as like a gift that I got that I was excited about. Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that. And God, it's so funny. This is why I like that Nicole's a great mom. For the people who followed this show and listen, and I always say it all the time, she's a great mom. And I used to say this to my younger son, I can give you $10,000 today, or I can spend 10,000 hours with you. You won't remember those $10,000, what you did with it in 20 years, but you're going to remember the 10,000 hours. And so the time you spend, I think, is so much more important. And, at the time, a kid might be saying, yeah, but I really want that Nintendo. But, it's, but the time you spend creating memories and living life, I think is everything, so even if you were to say, hey, instead of Christmas gifts, guess what, we're going to Thailand this summer, you know what I mean, we're going on a trip,
Yeah,
that kind of
experiences.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah, we do that with birthdays now. It's an experience rather than gifts. Well, I'll say two things about the Christmas giving, though. So, my mom came up with this tradition, which I found genius. So, I carried it on with my kids. Is that you would wake up in the morning and there would be this Santa sack next to your bed, and it would be full of toys, everything that was on your
Oh, that's
list,
cool.
unwrapped, just thrown in this big sack. So when the kids wake up, it's right there, and you don't have to get up, get the whole family. They just start opening and they know that that's for them. This is great twofold because you don't have to wrap all of that. It keeps everything secret. So if you
Yes.
wrap gifts and keep putting them under the tree, don't they know that didn't come from Santa? I never understood that part. And when they stop believing in Santa, guess what goes away? The Santa sack.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you get out of, so what was under the tree was from the family, and what was in the sack was from Santa. And then also what I would do with my kids is that their birthday was halfway through the year. So most toys and stuff were bought on either Christmas or their birthdays, and then not that much during the rest of the year because they got plenty. And 6 months later, they get anything else that they have their eye on. And that's enough. God, it's
Sure
enough.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it sure is. All right. So did you ever wake up in the middle of the night while they're putting that sack next to your bed?
Nope.
No, you made it through every time.
I even faked a year and still pretended like I believed in Santa so that I could
faked a year.
I faked a year. I
That's
certainly
funny.
did. Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
did.
My neighbor was telling me a story the other day that his 40-year-old daughter lost a tooth, and him and his wife both forgot to the tooth fairy, and the daughter woke up extremely upset. Guess what? My tooth's still there. There's no money. What the hell? And I was like, what did you do? How do you get out of this one? And he goes, I taught her a lesson. I said, you aren't happy with the service? I go, let's go. And because I made her sit right next to me at the computer. We wrote a fake email to customer service, complained. And the next day the tooth was gone and the money was there. And he goes, that's why you have to fight for yourself. And then he taught her whole lesson on contacting customer service immediately as soon as something's not right. Yeah. I laughed my head off. I go, I never would have thought of contacting the customer service tooth fairy to, what happened there? You guys dropped the ball. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I remember a couple times having to scramble for change because a tooth fell out late at night, and it was on those days of we didn't always have cash on us anymore. Yeah. And going, oh my God, what do I do? And having to go to a neighbor's for small change. Yeah.
Yeah. The price of teeth have gone way up. It seems
way up.
Like friends. Yeah.
Way up. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I asked, but same guy. He told me, he said he was in Las Vegas and all he had was a $50 bill and his kid's tooth fell out, and he threw a 50 underneath there. And I go, what are you doing? And I go, they're going to expect 50 every time. He goes, what?
Yeah, that's
I go,
when you write an IOU. That's when you write an IOU. I didn't have cash. I'll see you when you get home.
It's that's it. What are you doing out of town when your teeth falling out? I don't know what you do, but $50 for a kid's tooth. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, or I would have said to the kid, save it till we get home.
Yeah.
The tooth fairy won't know how to find you on vacation. You got to work around these things.
Yeah,
you gotta
genius.
be on the ball.
Yeah. Damn, he's dumb.
Hey, listen, his dumbness. The kid lucked out.
Oh yeah, you weren't kidding. All right, gotta ask you because the shows are going. Are you watching? You watching our favorite shows?
Okay, I did not watch New York. I was not.
I hate it. I freaking hate it.
I had some Potomac episodes to catch up on, and that's what I chose to do last night instead of New York. And then this morning I started watching New York, and when they started talking about picking rooms, they're going on a vacation. When they started, I walked out of the room. I was like, I'm done. I don't know if I can listen to these women fight over rooms on a vacation, on a 5-star vacation. Cry about rooms. I might lose it. Today was not the day for that. I just
today was not. My arm's not working. Yeah, I got major problems. Can't put my shirt.
Yeah, real life problems. Not about which room I'm going to stay in the mansion that we've rented. Fuck off. Yeah.
No, I'm with you. All right, the Beverly Hills one. Where are you at? Because it was kind of like a 2-person episode. It was just Dorit and Kyle, even though everybody was there, it was almost like nobody was there except those two.
Well, I still feel the same about it. I'm writing for Dorit, but it's not that I'm against Kyle. I feel bad for her. I think she's in a strange like headspace. And I feel weird like saying that about somebody, like, uh giving them some kind of like read. But I just feel like she's emotionally confused, and it's just bleeding over into all kinds of things, and she's like uh doing retail therapy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's striking me as. I
Yeah.
could be all wrong about all this, but to me, instead of like being in, really good therapy, she's doing retail therapy. She's going through a divorce that I think she's not being so super smart about. Dorit has had it with her, and I don't know what's going on with this woman, Morgan, that she may or may not be involved
Yeah.
with. And is she struggling to be okay with maybe having feelings for a woman? Because I find that sad if that's true. I just wish her the best. I really do. I hope she finds some strength, and I think she will, and work it out. But I'm living for Dorit. I'm loving Dorit. So
I do too. I am too.
Yeah.
You and I are on the same page with that. And I think before that show started, one of the questions we asked was, "Who's your favorite character on the show?" I think we both said we're Kyle fans, but I'm Team Dorit in this whole thing.
Yeah, and Southern Charm is back, which I'm
Yeah.
obsessing. Love it. Looks
I do
amazing.
too.
I'm also watching 90 Days The Last Resort, where the couples go to the resort for couples therapy. I love that show. It's the second season. I'm here for it. They do like they try to make it give like White Lotus vibes. So it's like
Yeah.
this White Lotus-esque music with like shots, of these like the hotel and the resort. It's hysterical. And then, there's these train wrecks of people trying to make these, relationships work for visas and green cards. And it's just I love it. I love that. I love that show. So
Hey, I
yeah.
got to ask you about Southern Charm in Southern Charm, which I do love that show. I started watching it last year and then caught up on all the seasons. But I enjoy the show. I lived in the South for 9 years. I always find it fascinating the way even the way they dress, But the guy with the cane, I'm trying to blank on his name.
JT.
Yeah, JT with the cane. When he gave that older woman a cane, I wanted to die.
Oh, listen, this is the thing about JT. I think he honestly has a heart of gold. He is one of these socially awkward people.
Super.
And he just, the timing, people
Yeah,
timing
you're
with
right.
everything. He gave everybody a cane.
Yeah.
But when he gave Patricia the cane, in
Yeah.
that moment, everybody else around had their cane and they had already put it down and lost it somewhere. And she just arrives and
Yeah.
he gives one to her, and it looks like he's singling her out.
Yeah. Might as
And
well give him a walker.
It
was
was
so
the most
weird.
socially awkward.
Yeah.
And that's JT. He's one of those people. His timing is off, and he's awkward. And that
Oh my
was,
gosh.
but I like the idea of him and Vanita together. They would be a super cute couple. And I'm watching Craig and Shep's journey. Austin, I feel like whatever. But is Shep really changed? And Craig, definitely trying to put on a show that he's changed for his business. But I do like him and Paige as a couple, and they're super cute. And I love that he talked about sewing and everybody made fun of him. And he has got this multi-million-dollar company making pillows. Like, you go, Craig. He's the underdog. And I so root for that.
Yeah, I do. I do. I like the show a lot. I'm with you on New York. Like, literally, I had it on in the background. I was returning emails. I don't think I looked up at the screen one time. I was just playing, and it's a waste of time. The Beverly Hills thing, I got to tell you, the one part that makes me laugh is I'm not a Kathy Hilton fan. Like, she's on the show because of the name. It's to me, she doesn't add a lot. She's kind of goofy, but
another awkward one. Yeah.
Yeah, like, she's one of those people, if she didn't marry who she married, I wonder how she would do in life. Like, would she survive? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes
She
you
would've
luck
married
out to marry
somebody
the right
else.
person. Yeah.
No, she would have.
But when the house is on fire and everybody's screaming and things are going crazy, look at her in the background. She is not even phased. Doesn't even look up. She's like, looks like there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
And everyone else is making faces and the big eyes and leaning back and forth, and she's really uncomfortable. And she's just sitting there like nothing's happening.
Yeah.
It is the most bizarre behavior.
It is. I watched an episode of her on Watch What Happens Live recently, and they were playing this game where one person's blindfolded and the other person pulls something out of a bag, and they're supposed to describe it, and the blindfolded person is supposed to guess. She couldn't do it. She was holding a snow globe. She didn't know how to describe. It was quite comical. It was actually really funny how there was no common sense like at all.
Yeah.
Oh, also speaking of no common sense, myself, The Perfect Wife is the documentary that we were talking
Okay.
about last week. I was asked about my favorite documentary, and I brought up a recent one, not The Perfect Couple, The Perfect Wife. Really great. Check it out. Just
Where's
had
it
to
at?
bring that up before
I'm
I
gonna write
forget.
it down right
I
now.
think on Netflix as well.
Okay. I'm
Um,
gonna write it down right now.
yeah, it's it's a wild ride, that one.
Okay.
But yeah, Kathy Hilton like couldn't describe things. Like she had a boa, she couldn't get the words out. She's like playing with the boa. And he's like, describe it. Describe it. Yeah, no, it just really funny in her own world. And you know what? It works for her. It's
Yeah.
working out for Kathy Hilton. She lives a good life. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. All
Yeah.
right, you ready for some questions?
I am. Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. So Nicole's mailbag right here. It's easy. Perfectlytwistedpod.com. Go to the mailbag and put your questions in. These are from Lisa. Okay.
All right.
Nicole, do you have more guy friends or more girlfriends?
I think it's kind of even, honestly. I would say maybe slightly more girlfriends, but I have a lot of solid good guy friends too.
Yeah.
Solid. Yeah.
Did you think, okay, going back to Housewives of Beverly Hills, was it strange to you when you found out PK was calling Kyle?
No.
Like everybody kind of freaks out. It's a big tease. I don't think so either.
No, like whatever. They've been friends for so long.
Yeah.
Like, and whatever.
He's not looking to hook up. There's no way he's looking to hook up. He's calling him probably as a friend or advice.
Yeah, or just yes, exactly. Yeah, I just know. I think people they look for things to make a big deal out of. No, I don't think it's a big deal.
I'm with you on that one. All right, Nicole, do you eat in bed?
I do. Oh,
Do you really?
so
This is
guilty
a
of it.
big conversation
Yeah.
a friend of mine we just had the other day.
Okay, so we have
And
a
my friend
really,
does eat in bed. Yeah.
he does. Okay,
Yeah.
so I have I started doing this when I was younger because I just loved, my house was very like Indonesian. So I have this really long, low table with seat cushions that are on the floor. And I love it. And so I would have that. And I would have a regular dining room table as well. But it seemed to be the place we always gathered was that table. And when the kids are little, it's perfect because there's no falling off of chairs.
Yeah.
You have less spills. Like, I don't know, for some reason with the lower table, it's more manageable. So we're already like an unconventional eating family. So so it's kind of like eating what is like the coffee table kind of and watching TV or talking or whatever, or sometimes because I'm watching the news or I'm watching a show and I jump in bed and I will. I'm guilty of that. But I'm not messy, so it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny. It literally was a conversation with my buddy who you actually know, and he's the guy who says him and his kids they'll eat in bed, you know. And so
I don't like the kids. Wait a minute. I don't like the kids eating in bed. And sometimes I will say to my youngest, "Get out of my bed. If you're going to eat in the bed, go." But no, I do let her eat in there occasionally, but I don't like that because the kids make a mess, and then you've got crumbs in the bed, and that's a whole different thing.
No way.
Yeah.
See, that
so
puts
I'm not
chills
into
down
that
my
part.
back, thinking of crumbs on my legs when I'm trying to sleep. I'd
no.
freak out.
Worst feeling in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely pull the sheets off, clean it
Yeah,
off,
exactly.
and shake it out. Yeah.
Now go get the vacuum cleaner. I just got your crumbs all over the floor.
Yeah, because my kid she loves avocado toast too, and I'm like,
oh boy, yeah. Oh my gosh,
in
toast
bed.
would be
Here
the
we
worst.
go. The avocado toast in bed. Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my gosh, Nicole, do you have a favorite grocery store or a place where you like to buy food?
Okay, I'm a psycho marketer.
Okay.
Okay.
Really? I
I
think my wife is too.
I have so many different markets that I go to. So I'll go to grocery outlet first because
Okay.
I like everything organic. I like all my I spend so much money. I don't think people realize how expensive to have
It is.
cancer. It's unbelievable. The food, the supplements, everything, right? So I will go to grocery outlet first because they've got a lot of great brands and everything's organic, and organic meat and grass fed and all that for way cheaper. What I can't get there, I will go to I will go to Vaughn's or Gelson's
Okay.
for, because
Yep.
those are both very pricey, but they have good solid things. I love to go to Whole Foods for fruit because they don't overcharge and their fruit is always really good and fresh. It's not like you bring it home and it rots the next day. I go there. I love Gelson's for like sushi and certain things at Gelson's. And then there's the Trader Joe's,
Yeah.
which I will only go first thing in the morning. You're not getting me there if it's after 10 o'clock in the morning. And there's the whole stuff you can only get at Trader Joe's, and you got to go there for that. So I go to all of those all the time. It's like
Yeah.
down the list. Yeah.
Yeah. My wife does the same thing. I won't go with her, but she'll hit like 4 different stores. Like, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm that
Well,
person. And then I figure, at the end, I laugh at myself because I'm like, the $5 you saved at grocery outlet, you spent on gas. you know.
yeah. That is funny.
Yeah.
Next question, Nicole, are you a fan of sitcoms? And if so, what is your favorite sitcom of all time?
Yes. Three's Company, my favorite sitcom of all time. I mean, I absolutely obsessed over that show. I love that show. I love Lucy and Three's Company.
Three's Company.
Hands down. There's nothing ever like it ever since. It's the best shows. You can't convince me otherwise. Never missed an episode of either one of those. Not
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
with you. I've seen them all. Did you have a favorite third person, I should say? Because Suzanne Summers' character, and then she was gone, and then it was Jenny Lee Harrison and Priscilla Barnes. Look at me, I got all 3 of them right.
Got all of
I
them.
can't tell you the third president of the United States, but I just did that.
I'm impressed.
Me too. Me too.
Listen, I hated when they changed I'm not a big fan of when they change characters. It kind of killed me on Roseanne too. I love Roseanne's another one. I love that show. I kind of hate it when they change actors for the characters. Ugh,
Yeah.
it's cringy. But I did grow to like it was what's her name? Terry Hatcher? No, what did you say her name is?
Priscilla Barnes was the last
Priscilla
one.
Barnes. Priscilla Barnes. God, what am I talking about? Yeah, Priscilla Barnes. But Suzanne Summers, there was nobody else except Suzanne Summers
Yeah.
for me, for
Yeah.
Christy. That's who it was. But I did, and I've met her, Priscilla. No, Priscilla
Yeah.
Barnes. I've
Yeah.
met
Yeah.
her later in life. She's a lovely, lovely lady. I really like her a lot. She's gorgeous. So I did sort of like find a place with her in it, but no, I like the originals. I like
Yeah.
the OG stuff. You can't go change it.
What's funny is I love that show too. When Suzanne Summers passed away a few years ago, I was sad about it. I never met her, and I never had like a crush on her or anything. I just liked the show. But when she passed
Yeah.
away, I was kind of bummed out. I was bummed out
Yeah.
when John Ritter passed away too. But it was
Same.
just, there's certain people that you watch on TV for years and
you
when
love them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just love them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny when you think about that because I give an example. That first person on TV that ever passed away who I never knew. And I wasn't like, as a kid, I didn't even care for the show that much. But when he died, I was kind of depressed that day. I remember my sister called me. It was Mr. Rogers. When Mr. Rogers died, I was like, he was a good guy. And I felt bad. It was just kind of bummed me out. But part of my childhood, I wasn't a huge Mr. Rogers fan. But you're right. When people you watch and then when Suzanne Summers passed, I was kind of depressing. And I'm with you on that one. My English teacher in high school, her daughter was the second one, was Jenny Lee Harrison. And
Oh, okay.
she was my least favorite one of the three of that you just mentioned, but kind of just drove me nuts. I don't know. I don't like the dumb actor. I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of the dumb actor.
Only certain people can do it. Only certain people can
Yeah.
pull it off, and it feels authentic and it feels, genuine.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it feels like you're acting dumb, and it's super annoying.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, last
Yeah.
question. It says, here you go. It's interesting. Nicole, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I'm guessing you're going to say Thailand.
Never coming back.
Yes.
Oh, in 10 years. Listen, I hope to be a grandma. I hope to have figured out what my actual calling in this life is. Besides being a mom. I hope that I figure it out. I hope I'm still here. I hope I'm working, and I hope I'm a grandma.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
maybe I met somebody. Maybe I met a partner.
There you go.
Yeah, that could all
There you
work
go.
out.
Yeah, I think I'm a lot like you on that. I just hope I'm a grandparent by then. You know what I mean? I hope so.
Yeah.
That's kind of the next stage in life that I'm looking forward to. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you will be. You will
Yeah.
be before I will be.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
Start putting pressure on them. Yes. There
Yeah.
you go.
So mine are not. They're my oldest and her partner. They're not so open right now to having kids.
I hear that a
I
lot.
get it. I do
Yeah,
get it.
I'm
Right? I
hearing that a
support
lot.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's scary out there for sure.
I just hope she
Absolutely.
gets that bug, because women do get a bug, and
Yeah.
they start seeing babies and they start craving it, and it's like a hormonal thing. So I'm praying for that.
There you go. All right, so we're going to be back next week. I think it's
Yep.
going to be our last show of the
It
year.
will be. Yep. Next episode will be the last one for the year, and then we will be right back at you.
Good deal. Good deal. All right, don't forget
Yeah.
to subscribe and like as well, everybody. Thank you so much, and it's great to see you, Nicole. I'm sorry about your hand, and I hope
Okay.
everything goes in the right direction. It's not a joke. I mean, I'd say
I
it
know.
kind of
I'm
sounds
so sorry
funny.
about your
You
hand.
have a good sense of humor, but like a year ago at this time, remember I ruptured my bicep, and I know you see my right arm. I know what it's like. It's
Yeah.
awful. It is
It's
awful.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right.
All
We'll
right.
see
See you
everybody
next
next week.